Hello and welcome back to the TNC podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. It's an absolute pleasure to have you along, and I'm delighted to be able to welcome our first ever female guest, Anna Tribal. Anna,
True.
Thank you so much for coming along to the beautiful Erpingham House today. First female guest, how big a deal is that for you?
I mean, of course, it's nice to be the first female guest on the show,
Yeah.
you know, and we'll see. I'm curious what you guys planned and what to expect.
It's I was really excited when Chris mentioned actually that you were up for coming on, because I think we were all big football fans here and we all watch the players out on the pitch, and obviously you know Tom better than anyone, but I think there's a certain life behind football in which we just don't really know about, and that's you and that's other footballers' wives and what goes on. I want to take this in kind of a chronological order, so I want to start back when you were a little girl. What was childhood like? Where did you grow up? What did you want to be? Has it turned out like you wanted it?
I was born in Ukraine in 1989, and back in the day it was the Soviet Union. So my parents decided to leave Russia, or the Soviet Union at that time, leave and just to provide us children a better life and a better future. So I grew up in Germany, and this is where
Amazing. So what were your parents doing at the time? How big of influence were they on you back in the day?
A lot. I think my mom, she put she made the basement of everything. Because I studied film.
Okay.
And when I was a really young girl, she always were singing with me. We learned text and writing and performing, and she was dancing for the Russian ballet.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I basically grew up in this whole performance world.
Yeah.
Like she dragged me with her when we were really little to watch her perform in front of a big crowd in different cities and different countries, and yeah.
So travelling has always been a relatively large part of your life then, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris, Tom came in here a moment ago. What was his coffee order? Cortado with coconut milk.
Yes.
I've got so much respect for that coffee order, by the way. I love a cortado. My respect for Tom has gone through the roof with that order.
Definitely. I mean, we'll get on to Tom and his Norwich career. What was the first time you met Tom? How did it all come about? We chatted about it off camera, but it was such a lovely story. Let's just go over it once more.
All right. Actually, it's a really funny story. I've met him already a long time ago. I think it's about 8 years.
Okay.
And I decided because I met him through mutual friends.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that I will not date anyone at that time, because I really want to go to the United States to study. And I'm a person, not that you can convince me easy, but if I fall in love with someone, I might have kept staying. So I rather chose to not date, just to get to know him, but on the surface.
Yeah.
And then I moved to the United States. I was living there for 3 years, and right after I came back, I honestly literally just landed in Frankfurt, and he hit me up on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh,
Slid
welcome."
DMs.
I was like, "Can I please take a breath first?"
So did he pass the test then? Were you happy with his performance?
Well, I mean, first I arrived home. I spent a lot of time with my family and my friends. And he kept on liking all my pictures.
Did he?
And because the thing is, I had to go back, of course, because I had my house, like my apartment, my work. I couldn't just leave, and and I was not in the state, had the state of mind that I will date someone.
Yeah.
But then my mom said, "Listen, you're a young woman. You should just go out, have a nice coffee with him. He seems very nice."
What did he order you in the coffee shop?
No, we actually met in front of a restaurant. We went for food, but I haven't had anything because I was planning on rushing that a little bit through.
Right.
So, and he came with flowers.
Oh.
He was really prepared.
Tom.
He was so prepared. He was so sweet. And then, then we had coffee, and then he was so nice, and he was just different because I expected someone more stupid.
Was that your kind of initial preconceptions of footballers.
Yes, because I like to talk about like more unnatural things
Okay.
and universe, and I thought he's definitely not going to be on my level, but he's a nice person, why not? But I was really surprised. He was very intelligent, and how he built his words. He was a very calm person. He was listening to me, I was listening to him, and it was like I felt really respected. And I went home with a really good feeling, and my mom asked me if who bought actually the flowers, and I said it was him, and she's like,
He's the one.
It's good.
He's the one.
It's good.
I want to quickly back up a moment. You kind of said you moved to America like it was nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just moved from Norwich down to London, and it was a big deal. Like moving away from home, changing your day-to-day life. That's an incredibly brave move to go from Germany to America. And it shows how committed you are to your career, how committed you are to self-development. That leap is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, because like you mentioned before, I was used to travel because of my mom and also of my dad. He used to travel a lot as well. For me, it was always a big. I don't know why, but I always wanted to go to the States.
Okay.
I kind of felt of the connection with LA.
Right.
I always loved entertainment industry. And I think also when you are very young, because I was, I think, 21 when I went to the States, you are much bolder. So you have more confidence without thinking about the risk. And I was just thinking about what can go good, perfect, instead
definitely.
of what can go wrong. And I think the older you get, that's where you start thinking more, or where we can maybe have a talk about later, where I think sometimes it's better to think less about things, rather go for it. And this is what a lot of children also have, like very young children, they rather go for it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, they will learn, but it will still bring you somewhere because you made experiences. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go there, and I knew if it doesn't work, what can happen to me, I will learn to speak English. That's the worst, and I will have my bachelor.
So you couldn't speak English when you...
I didn't speak English at all. No, I didn't.
That's fascinating. I mean, Chris, you're a massive kind of advocate for going out there and doing things.
Yeah.
It feels if though it comes natural to Anna in a sense.
Well, I was going to say, Anna, what age were you when you went to LA?
I went with 20, was the first time. Because I had to work for 2 years. My parents are not rich, and they couldn't just afford letting me go to the United States.
Yeah.
It was really passion. Like, I knew I lived for 2 years in a small apartment, collecting every penny I could make just to afford. And I mean, you are going to LA, you told me next year.
Chris is, I'm not.
No, I don't want to go anywhere.
And it's so expensive. Just to live there and pay for rent, pay for a car, pay for food. And when I went there, I had to really take care of my money just to, see how everything works, just to get a feeling for it. And then I went to a model agency. They hired me. They also paid for my working visa.
Wow.
Nice.
And and this is why I kept on staying there. And then I went to school and could afford school because I could work next to it.
Brilliant.
Which was good.
So it all happened. But it all happened because Anna took the jump. And as you say, Jack, and I don't know if there's a culture thing or not, Anna, but I think there's a problem in the UK with, tunnel vision, where the parents are like, no, you have to go to university in this city and study this and do this, or join the family business, or you have to do this, you have to do that. Whereas I don't know if that's potentially a European thing, but I think that's very refreshing to hear that a young person of only 20 years old flying all the way out to LA just to give it a go, I think is just absolutely brilliant, Anna. So plaudits to you for that. I think that, and doesn't it just say, Jack, and I mean, me and you have both done this as well, I know that our audience is very young as well, if you've got an opportunity, but you're like, it's a bit risky, but you're young, so what's not to lose? Particularly when you're living at home with your parents, just have a go. You can always come back. So I think, plaudits to Anna for that. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Looking back on that time you spent out there now, do you think, wow, that was really bold, it could have gone so wrong? Or do you still look back with a sense of, if all fails, I've still gained something?
I mean, of course, you mean now?
Yeah, so when you look back on that time.
Yeah, back on it. Of course, like there could be so much going wrong. Like I could be addicted to drugs or alcohol or whatever, you know, work in a strip club or like, you know, just because the life is so different there and you're exposed to such a craziness and
how did you find the
extreme.
lifestyle? Was it suited to you, or did it take a while to adjust?
To be honest, I was very lucky because when I came, I made really good friends from around the world, and they were really supportive. And also, I didn't like the first time I came. I lived for a month with a little bit elderly woman,
Right.
and she was the wife of Dale Robertson, who was back in the day a very, very big actor. He has even a star on the Walk of Fame.
Really?
He used to play with
Wow.
Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
Yeah, Dale Robertson, look it up.
Yeah,
Very, very.
I've heard the name.
In the 60s or even before that, yeah.
Okay.
And I used to live with her, and she was very supportive. So she taught me a lot about the industry and what I have to take care of, you know, that I don't have to, should not trust anyone. And I know it's pretty harsh, but she was right. You have to be very careful, of course, you know. It doesn't matter what you do, which decisions you make. But I was, like I said, I was not naive. I was, in a way, I was smart. I knew what I wanted, but I would not get it. I would not do it for every price. And this was important for me to be true to myself and go to a certain extent where I say I feel comfortable doing it. And I would always do that again.
You say there you were kind of taught early on. I find that fascinating. Like, don't trust anyone. I mean, we've only been chatting for about an hour or so. You come across incredibly empathetic, lovely, but at the same time, you've got that real drive in you, I feel. How do you balance that in terms of not being a mug and not being walked all over, but also still being a nice person?
I think it's about my shitty star sign. I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
You have that two things already inside you of, you know, having that, like sometimes just go for it, don't think about it, and then overthink.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out myself for years how to find the middle.
Yeah.
But I'm
Do
getting
you know Tom's
there.
star sign?
Yeah, he's a Pisces.
Okay, and how does that work?
Perfect.
Does
Nice.
it?
Yeah, it's for Scorpio and Pisces. They are the best match.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you come back from America. You weren't thinking of coming back to Germany for good at that point, were you? You meet Tom. Things go up in the air a little bit.
Exactly.
Talk us through them kind of initial first few months with Tom. Did you then fly back to America and stayed there for a bit, or were you then back in Germany for good?
So no, I did. I flew back to LA because of course I had to sort out all my things, my apartment, my car, my bank, and everything, and also my work and my management.
Just your whole life.
My whole life. I built everything within 3 years. And but it was not that easy. I kept on working for the first year. I was traveling back and forth. It was important for me just to make, because I'm very careful. That's probably also about my star sign. As you see, I really believe in astrology.
Yeah.
I'm really careful because you never know what happens in life if it's the right person, and you can't give up everything, you know. I know that as a football player, he can't give it up because he has a very tight schedule. I can at least work around a little bit of jobs and maybe cancel things. He just can't cancel a game and postpone it. And so I still went back and forth to sort everything out and also make sure within this year that it's a good relationship. And it was the perfect decision I've ever made is to come back and.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's lovely. I assume when you first started to get to know Tom, you knew he was a footballer and you knew what was going on there, did you?
The thing is, when we met, he was not really playing.
Okay.
So he was a little bit struggling in his career. I was more working just for us or for me as well, and he was struggling a lot. Then we went. Then the first time we moved together actually is when he moved to the south of Germany in Fürth, where he played or didn't play for a year. And this is where I have to let me find the right words. I had to rethink for us what's the best way in life, because we were really thinking football is over now.
Really?
And because also of his previous management and everything.
Wow.
So I knew that, and so I started working more so we would have money. Then we moved to the Netherlands. We were lucky to get a chance there. They signed Tom. And this is where I was working because we wouldn't make enough money to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Just to support us, our relationship and everything, just to be on a safe side.
Yeah.
The thing is that the whole time before we actually came to Norwich, my plan for us was him going back to university.
Really?
So I wasn't really, because it was not really football for me at that time because he was not playing.
Yeah.
And the only time he was playing was in the Netherlands, but it was nothing temporary for me for him because he didn't really had a salary. You know what I mean? And when we came to Norwich, this is where I first really realized that he's a football player.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
he was a football player before.
Of course.
Did you not have the belief it was going to happen for him then before Norwich?
I knew that
it wasn't going to happen?
No, I knew it will happen.
Nice.
I knew it. The thing is, I don't know if I can say that, but a little bit, because I'm really good with management things, I asked him if he's okay if I will do his management and hire the people who will work for him.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I don't have anything to lose anymore. And then...
Wow.
I didn't realise quite how close it was in terms of... I knew Tom had struggles in the earlier parts of his career. I've got a quote here. I think this was from Tom. He said, "For sure the last few years have been really sad. They were not easy for me and my wife because I had some problems. I didn't get back what I deserved mentally because everybody who knows me knows I give everything in training every day." I think me and Chris were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Tom, I think, has so much respect for you, and he almost feels like he owes a lot for you because you got him back on the right path. And I think Daniel Farke said that at times as well, like you were a massive influence with him. And that's not always... Do you feel that as well?
I think not in a football way, in the management way, yes, in making decisions, leading him trying to lead him in the right direction, let him think twice about things or even longer. Don't be too emotional about things, and just to enjoy life and do his job. Just do what you can do, and that's play football. And I will take care of the rest.
So what did you do to help him mentally? Because that seems like such a key part in his life, Anna, certainly. And it sounds like he's been through some extremely tough times, which obviously put you in a situation as well. How did you both push through? And when Norwich came through, that must have just been... Was it a relief for you or not?
I mean, it all started with him being a super high-rated player in the youth. He played for Werder Bremen. He went up with Hansa Rostock. So he had a lot of success going up. So he didn't know that it will stop one day. And when you are that young and you fall that far down, and the media crashes on you, the people, maybe friends, maybe trainer, coaches, everyone, you just don't think you're good enough anymore. And there was so much negativity around him that I don't think he would have made it himself.
Okay.
And are you saying that was led by the media in Germany? Was that the issues?
Yes.
Okay.
The problem is that a lot of people wrote articles without even asking him what is the reason why he's not playing, or what is the reason he was sitting in the crowd. I mean, there's always a reason for something, an explanation for something, and it was always Tom was the bad person, Tom was the bad guy, and he has an attitude, or he's not good enough. And this is what, especially in his age, he was, I think, to that time he was 21, 22. That hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah.
And for such a young person to withstand that negativity.
Well, I don't think you can, Anna. I don't think you can be that young and take that much shit over and over again. I don't think you can you, Jack? I mean, there's been countless times where I've fallen on my arse and I had to say, "Hey, pick me up here. I need some help." So, thank God that you had you, Anna. And I think that, you know, in the world of social media and digital and TV and press that there is today, and particularly now we're in the Premier League, which we'll get onto in a minute, Anna, I think that there is even more pressure now than before, and particularly with young players. And there's something, I think a massive issue is young players sometimes are left out, and all of a sudden they've got an attitude problem, or the manager thinks they're crap, or you know. And I just think it's never that case. You're very right, Anna. There's always a reason. You know, are they in a good place mentally? Has someone close to them just passed away? Are they dealing with a family member struggling? And at that age, you're still learning. You still get up on your feet, aren't you? So again, you know, thank goodness you're around for Tom at that point. So when Norwich came, were you like, what was the moment like when Norwich came along? You must have just been like...
I remember, like, the thing is, I told him to offer Norwich a test match.
You told him that?
Yes, because I knew that's not something, like, it's not common to do that in football, but I know that in my career, that going for an audition, that's something everyone does.
Yeah.
And I said, why not bring something up like this? Just offer yourself. This is what everyone does. Who's an actor, who's a writer, you know, who, even you guys, when you're journalists, you also go and say, hey, can I work on that project? I will write an article, you know, and see how it works if you like it. And this is exactly what I think football can also do, you know, or players who are struggling a little bit. Just offer them like a little show reel in real life. And he was a little bit of, he had a lot of, how do you say, pride? Yeah, to do that. And in the beginning he's like, no one does that, and that's not something typical for football. And I was like, doesn't matter, just do it. And then his management called Stuart Webber, and then they agreed. And he came over, and the coach said, I want to.
I love that. And the reason why I love that is showing vulnerability. Super powerful, Anna. And that is the right thing to do all day, every day, no matter what walk of life you go through. If you can show vulnerability, people trust you more instantly. So Daniel Farke knows that he can place trust in Tom. Stuart Webber knows he can place trust in Tom. There was something that I read in the press prior to this interview, preparing for it, where actually, I think it must have been Daniel that said actually Tom practically was begging, it came across almost as he was begging us, like he was desperate. And I think actually someone that shows that they care and they want it that much is so powerful. So I think, again, like, what an incredible idea to just be like, no, you know what? I'm going to come for a trial, and then you can see how you like it. And in a sales scenario, by the way, there's always a push and pull. And it's actually like, oh, Tom's only offered us a trial. Actually, we want him for longer than that. So I think that's dead clever. I really do.
We've spoke to a lot of successful people on this podcast, and you're definitely up there with them. I think there's always patterns that I've seen, and you've brought it up so many times. Norwich come calling, that's a massive risk to move to another country, move to another society. The club at that point, let's not forget, was in a tough situation.
True.
Really tough situation. And it seems like throughout your life, you've constantly taken risks when other people probably wouldn't have done. Do you look back and go, yeah, actually, like, it felt risky at the time?
I love to take the risk.
Do you?
I don't like to take the easy path.
Yeah.
I think of rocky roads. You will get to know so much about yourself, about the people you're going with, about everything around you. Maybe you will change interest, maybe you will stick with things, but you need to go that rocky road. There is no, not such a thing like an easy way to your goals, you know? And if it's an easy way, there must be something wrong.
It's
true.
As soon as Tom joined, and obviously there was a big transition from the club, a lot of German players coming in, a whole new kind of way we were going about things. I remember, I think, as soon as Tom came in, it felt like you gelled with the people around here quite quickly. Norwich fans love Tom, Norwich fans love you. I think I remember seeing you went and bought a load of pizzas for the homeless people around here at some point. Was that just natural, or was it a real effort to be like, I'm here now, I need to make the most of it, and I need to make my own community?
To be honest, no, because I couldn't plan to do that. Because my plan was actually us going back to university, or me to work and him to university. I brought so much positivity and so much happiness to Norwich, because I couldn't believe it, and I couldn't believe that he will get his chance. And it's something so big. And I remember him with, like, when he got a call from his agent and he said, yeah, they want to sign with you. We just both started crying.
Really?
Yeah, it was so beautiful, because we worked really, really hard. It was something I just explained to you in a nutshell. It's something really quick, but there is so much. We were, I don't know if I can say that, we were chasing a coach by car once to have a chat with him.
Really?
And I called in Moscow even, and talked to the, funny thing is, when I can't say which club it was, but I was giving a call in Moscow to the players department, to the
liaison,
to the sporting director.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had, I think, a few drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was very drunk, and I spoke to him in Russian, and then he was like, oh, and then he spoke to me in English again, and it was such a messed up thing. We didn't really understand who were talking which, because I also speak Russian.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he just gave me the number from the coach. Yeah,
Amazing.
He just believed me on the phone. I was
Wow.
like, hey, I'm in temporary management of Tom Tribal. I'm calling regarding
I love that.
So I made things up, and I was not temporary management. What is a temporary management, you know?
Yeah.
So hang on, let's just pause there. You speak Russian, you speak German,
Yes.
you speak English very well, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Better than my German.
I struggle a little bit today. I have days where I speak really, really good, but since I have spoken this morning in Russian, then in German all day, because I'm doing another project at the moment, sometimes my brain is not working that quick if a lot of things are going on. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It was like when you're on the phone earlier, you were speaking to me in English, then on the phone to Tom in German. I was like, bloody hell.
Tom walks in German, then you say to me he likes a cortado with coconut milk. But to make that switch, no, genuinely, seriously, I think it's incredible. And you know what? It really frustrates me when people don't make an effort to try to learn a language. I think it's actually a problem with English people.
100%.
Where, you know, we go abroad and
It's
we're
ignorance.
very, very, very complacent. We'll go to Spain or France or Germany and we'll just expect people to speak the language.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference to just be able to talk it in that language. And it must have helped Tom as well for you to be able to pick up the language that quickly. When you first came over, did you have any lessons or not?
You mean to the
For
to the
English
UK?
lessons, yeah.
Or no, because I used to live in the States before.
So it was fine.
This is where I learned English, actually. No, we had English in school. Everyone has English in school, but my English was really bad. I think my grade was like, I don't know, I had a 5, was the worst. Yeah, one of the worst. I was really, really bad.
So was it easy for Tom to pick up as well?
Yeah, afterwards, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I begged my teacher to give me a better, how do you say, grade?
Yeah.
A better grade. He did. It was nice.
So Tom joins Norwich. You say that it was such a relief. How was it settling in? New country, new people. Norwich is very unique in a sense. It's a one club city, so you walk anywhere and they probably know you. They'll definitely know Tom. There's a lot of pressure around here to do well. Was that easy to settle into or not?
I didn't expect it in the beginning, so it took a while until I really realized how much pressure it actually is. But I have to admit, I think English people are the nicest people I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah. And I think they're very welcoming. They're very, very friendly. I mean, if I compare to German people, they have a lot of, how do you say?
Nasty people?
Yeah, you
rude.
have a lot of, rude people, a lot of negative people. It's like, it's hard to explain, but I feel like that people from England are very welcoming, and they're very, very nice and very gentle and very careful, and which was, of course, in the beginning very nice, because of course you have sometimes a few people they
always, yeah,
they write nasty things online, but I just didn't think about that. It was not interesting for me. I was just focusing on the good things. And it was alright. I felt that people just like invited me to celebrate with them, you know. It was
Incredible.
not, I felt like a part of it.
Brilliant.
And for me I love football. I can't even imagine to live without football anymore.
I think it's Norwich though. I don't think it's people in England, Anna. I don't think you've been to the right areas. I think it's people in Norwich are
Probably.
really nice.
I was going to say though, I think that works both ways though, because I've seen, and we've all seen here, players come into the club who maybe haven't performed too well, and then family members start to get involved, and it turns really nasty.
Yeah.
It felt like you made a real effort to involve yourself, a real effort to get what it is about Norwich, because it's a unique place. There's unique people here.
Yeah.
It seems like you're ingrained in what this is all about, and in turn, people then go, actually, Anna, like, we like her. She's one of us. Do you not think it like works both ways? Because it could quite easily be, no, she doesn't want to play a part. We're not going to care about her.
I don't see myself so different from them, to be
Yeah.
honest.
You feel at home
I
here?
feel like I'm a part of the fan community, not that I am someone who people have to look up to.
Yeah.
It's Tom. I'm just like one of them. I'm like
Yeah.
staying in the crowd, I'm cheering, I'm supporting, and
Hang on, you're
and-
cheering. What's your favourite chant apart from Tom Tribal?
oh, I'm not allowed to say that.
Oh, really? Is it like
Yeah,
an
a lot.
anti-Ipswich one or?
No.
What's it like being in the crowd, watching Tom? Are you nervous? Are you chilled out?
I feel home. I don't know.
Do you?
I rather we have the player seats in
Yeah.
Norwich.
Very nice.
But when we travel, then we are sitting with all the fans, and this is what I like more.
Is it really?
Yeah,
You like
because
being
I
in
think
amongst
it's very
it?
funny.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you in the
More
Barclay
fun.
end
Yeah.
with a flag.
Yeah.
Yeah? For it?
Yeah, of course.
We'll get you involved. What was so obviously the first season wasn't great here in Norwich. Second season, last season, promotion. No one expected it. What was that season like? You would have seen better than anyone what was going on. Was there always a belief that they thought they were going to go up? They thought there was.
Yeah, I believed that from the first
You
time.
believed it, but did they?
No, I mean, I believed it. And at some point, Tom told me, I remember that was on November 19 or November 20, he said I should stop talking about going up all the time. Because it's a half season half a season to
Yeah.
play.
Wow.
And I was like, no, I know you guys are going up this year. I know. I have.
Nice.
It's just a feeling in my guts. You will go up, and it was the time where everything went bad,
Yeah.
and then it had the change where they started winning and
Yeah,
winning, and this is where I knew they definitely will go up. And then I was at the last 1.5 months. I was so anxious and nervous. I was having sweaty hands, like
Join the club.
in the at the matches, and I was like, I don't know how I will survive that. I need a drink, or I need something, because I already talked so much into myself that I already felt that are up instead of going up. So I had that belief so strong, and when they really went up, that was, I don't know, it was such a relief. Everything was like, you know,
Yeah.
Well, I
like
remember-
a tight in my body, and then
Yeah.
it went up, and it was beautiful.
I remember seeing you on the pitch during the celebrations. I think it was after the game that we officially got promoted.
Yeah.
I think you'd come onto the pitch wearing your Norwich shirt, walking round, and I just think there was some happy tears, there was hugs, there was flags, and what was it like walking around the pitch and just looking at all the fans and just thinking, oh my God, like we've done it.
Yeah, I cried because if I could cry again. Sorry. No, of course, because it was something. I just saw the pain fading away. Everything what
Wow.
people did to us, and everything what people said in the media, and
I love that.
everything what happened to this little boy when he was a young kid or a young adult. That was so much pain. I just wish that there would be one day the karma. Oh, sorry.
And you're getting me almost quite emotional, because I can feel the passion, the burning desire that you want all of this to work. And when it finally did work, it must have been the biggest relief, pleasure. That whole journey, the tough journey for both of you, is almost like you got to that moment, and you looked around and it's like, yeah, we're here. It's working now.
Yeah. You said it perfectly.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is how it was.
Yeah.
It was just like you said, a relief. It was happiness. I was proud of him, like extremely proud, like what a strong character he has, that nothing will stop him ever from going forward and believing in himself, with me on his side. And and also for the entire team, not only for one, also for the other families and the girls and the other players and the coach who gave us the chance, Stuart Weber who had a vision, you know, Daniel Farke who brought his creativity and his way of playing football, and everything, all that together, all these amazing people with all their own stories, you know, that just was.
And what an incredible thing, Anna, because actually what's interesting is that's quite internal in terms of the players and the players' families. But what I find fascinating is to get from your point of view. So you're walking around the pitch, and are you kind of focused on, you know, the pitch and the players? Because actually when we went on the pitch, the Russ Martin Wes game, I'm looking around at all the fans, I'm thinking, oh my God, there's so many people here. But do you realise, or do you actually realise the impact that not only Tom but that team has had on the families of the people that were in that stadium? There's been granddads that have been going to Carrow Road for 70 years, and they said that season with your Tom in that team was the best they've ever seen.
Oh, that's really.
I can't imagine how proud you must have felt just seeing it all.
Yeah, everyone, like, of course, like also the fans who, you know, you saw people, they were almost 90 or older sitting in the stadium, you know, shaking, you know, next to the grandchildren, just to really see that moment and cherish that moment, maybe for last time, you know. And that made me also cry and sad, because there's so much behind this whole club. It's not just the
made me cry as well.
Yeah, you see, it's not just like a football club, you know, where you just sit. I remember, well, I'm not allowed to say names, but I remember sitting at another game where everyone was like, it felt like in a theater.
Yeah.
And Norwich is like, it's more passion, it's love. I'm sorry, I'm gonna
That's fine.
turn on my phone.
It's probably Tom going, I hope you're not bad-mouthing me.
Are you still alive? So yeah, it was wonderful. It was.
Are you proud of yourself?
Proud of us, yes. Proud of us, because I don't think as a me. I think as a team.
That fascinates me, because throughout this whole interview you said we. It's never been Tom. It's never been me. It's never been I.
Agreed.
You always say we, and that makes me so happy, because you are a team, aren't you?
Yes. We are.
It's amazing. What's going on with you now then? Projects, you're travelling around the world, it seems. You've got books writing, you're probably learning 17 new languages. Because you're very busy as well.
Yes, I'm glad when everything is over and I can start socializing again. And I think it's winter now almost, right?
Yeah.
Definitely winter. It's cold in here.
It's really cold. We need some heating.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, I'm finishing. Like you said, I wrote a book. I'm finishing the book at the moment. It's an illustration office.
Yeah.
I hear the
yeah. We'll keep going. Basically, if you're watching this or listening on SoundCloud, we've got a sellotaped rug on the window.
This is what we go through for you.
I'm sure Anna is thinking, what am I doing here?
No, actually not. It's all good.
Again, though, you just said there, I've just written a book.
Yes.
Like,
I've just written a book.
As you do. This is amazing. I don't think you take enough credit for what you do.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's for the first time, because the book is pretty new.
Yeah.
It's actually you guys. You are the first one in the UK who have an exclusive interview now about the book.
Boom. So what's the book?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Basically, the book is a biography about Tommy Tribal. It's a children's book, and I want to actually reveal everything what really happened in his career.
Yeah.
I'm not using real names because it's of course a children's book.
Yeah.
But it's not the story behind his career, what made him just keep going. I want it. It's my desire. I believe in myself thing. It's also about a love story.
Oh.
It's also about how do you say, dedication.
Yeah.
It's about evil.
Yeah.
And of course about being happy with what you do and believing in yourself.
Yeah.
And some people or some kids maybe are struggling in school with other children, mobbing online, for example. And I want just the kids to read that book and just to understand there is always a way out. There's always a way for them to doesn't matter despite the age, for old and young, there's always a way to just find the right direction. Always. You are never stuck. You're never stuck in the situation you are now. And this is basically, in a nutshell, the story of the book.
I love the fact that you've gone for a children's book as well, because actually the easier, it says a lot about you again, Anna, the easy thing to do would be to write an autobiography of Tom's life, and that would be that, and it would be for the adult audience, and it would get signed off from a publisher and job done. But you've gone for a children's book, which actually says a lot, because by publishing a children's book, you're affecting lives sooner, positively, which is incredible. And I would love to have read a book at that point, especially about a footballer as well, right? That's so powerful because kids look up to footballers. So
and
it
the thing
works.
is, it's also not about the male part. We have also female parts in the book.
Brilliant, good.
Because it's important for me to not only have football considered with male or men, also having a female role in that book, which is very important for the male. So this is what I want to also tell all the young girls to definitely read that book.
Well, this is the thing as well, right? Is people aren't just looking up to Tom, people are looking up to you, your career. You've done so well. So it's like, if you can combine the two, then fantastic. Like, young girls will probably be watching this and going, like, if she's done it, I can probably do it as well.
Yeah, of course. I think you just have to believe in yourself, like everyone. Like, everyone has their own strength. It doesn't make sense to copy people. You are the strongest if you are yourself and do what you can do best. And this is important. If you are good, I don't know, in art, do art. You don't have to be a lawyer, even though your parents tell you have to be a lawyer. No, if you're good in something, you can achieve something to very, very high level because you're good in it.
Yeah.
Because if you are a lawyer but you like art and you don't like law, you're just a lawyer because your parents told you to be an attorney, you're not going to be as good as you probably would be as an artist.
I agree.
And vice versa.
I love the fact that there's a love element as well, Anna. I think it's really important actually, because I think a lot of people go through life thinking that they've got to go at it alone. And they think, actually, you know what, no, I've got to stand strong and be closed and not show vulnerability and open up my feelings to others. Me and Jack can both say, having long-term relationships as well, how important it is to have love, to have a relationship, to have someone that you can rely on, to create a circle of people around you that you trust. I think that's a super important message to push through, because that's exactly what's happened for you and Tom, right? You've been your own mini team. You've been able to conquer the world. But sometimes people feel like they just had to do it alone. They had to travel all the way to LA on their own, which you did, to be fair.
You have to start somewhere, right?
Agreed, right? Agreed. But I think it's important to understand the value of having people in your team. You're having your own mini team is an important message to have.
Yes.
100%.
And I think this is the beautiful thing, and what me and Chris really want to achieve with this podcast is, I think if you look at Tom, if you look at you, it's easy to just see the face element to which everyone sees. No one knows your journey. No one knows how you got to this position. And I just think it adds such depth and such respect.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
What's
it.
plans then for the next few months? Going back to
I
Germany?
want to go back to the book thing.
Go on then.
I didn't tell you actually how I started this whole project and why I decided to write a book.
Go on then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was his 26th birthday in March. And we are never...
What did you get him, by the way? What present did you give him?
This is
Go on.
we're going for. So, and I thought, because we're never buying anything material for us, because we don't need anything material. I think time is the most important part in life, and I wanted to give him a present which involves my time.
Okay.
And I didn't know what to do, and I was thinking. I took the dog for a walk. I went for a stroll in the city. I grabbed a coffee for a week.
Right.
I couldn't figure out what I want. And actually, the children's book is about pigeons.
Okay.
The main characters are pigeons, and
Yeah.
it's also a religious background.
Okay.
Pigeons, you know, also not religious, also even before that. Pigeons have a bird.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you.
There's
But
a
it will be all in the book. It will be all written down. It will be, you
Interesting.
have to read that.
You're a good saleswoman as well.
And so then I saw pigeons.
You
on
saw
the
some
tree.
pigeons and you got some inspiration from that.
Yeah, no, I looked at them and they looked in love. But it looked like she would be mad at him and he would try to convince her.
How much
or
coffee
to-
did you have that day?
Oh, probably a lot.
Was there vodka in it?
Martini. And I just looked at them. I just stared at them like a crazy person. I was like, pigeons. Pigeons? And then I was like, wow, imagine you're gonna write a book about pigeons. I was like,
And that was
write
it.
a book.
Oh.
And that's it. And I said, what if I write a book about his career? Just for his grandchildren, maybe one day.
So
That's
Tom, so
unbelievable.
you and Tom
His
have got
birth-
pigeons to thank.
Exactly.
Wow.
And because I thought like, why taking a lion? Why something big? Like you never have you seen a pigeons book?
No, I haven't.
No.
It's so weird that you even keep thinking about
Yeah.
it. And
And people don't like pigeons that much, right? Which is
Oh,
quite good.
yeah,
Because then it's
they're-
like, actually, you know what?
Under-
It's appreciating the
Understatement.
lower down the pecking order. Yeah, I like that.
yeah.
And they always
like
steal
that.
your chips up the market as well, pigeons.
Yeah,
don't
they
they?
do.
But there are also
Pesky.
beautiful pigeons, the white ones,
Yeah.
which you use for weddings when they fly in the air.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's about to fall off. We're going to keep
the
going
pigeon
though.
carries a message.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And this is what we have. We have a message
Okay.
for the people, and this is also why we consider it or what I consider pigeons. So basically, how this whole thing got started is he was at home, and I was starting to write that book. I was like, I need information, and he's not allowed to know anything.
Yeah.
So how do I do that without him noticing that I'm doing something?
Yeah.
So I went up to him. I was like, well, what was it again when you were younger? What was the name of the club you played against where you shot a goal? He's like, why? I was like, you were 7 or 6, right? Yes. I was like, yeah, I just read like, and he asked again, why do you need this information? So I was like, yeah, just for my records, I just want to see if, just for my records. And that was already weird.
Yeah.
But then imagine I have to go always back and forth.
Yeah.
Ask. So I had to ask so many questions. And I remember it was the third or fourth question I asked him about. He played with Hansa Rostock against another club, and I asked him, and he was like, are you working for some sort of journalism or are you selling my story?
Yeah.
I was like, no. I have read something like people when they get in their mid-20s, they just have problems with their memories.
Yeah.
So, and this is where it all started, like where I had to tell him the whole project because he would not answer my question anymore because he would think that's super weird because I keep on coming back and forth with a paper, you know.
So you're telling me you couldn't think of a birthday present, so you were like, okay, I'll write a book.
Yeah. But it took some time, it wasn't that quick.
No, I know,
Late,
but-
isn't it?
It took-
When's he going to get the book for his birthday?
That's the
I
thing.
mean, come on, Anna. I mean, when's his birthday?
The book was actually already done in June. It
Right.
was right before the season, and before you actually texted me about the book when we had that conversation.
Yeah.
So, and then I realized I want, because I'm so I have so much perfectionism. I
Yeah.
need to perfect that book
Yeah.
so much. So I had to rewrite so much.
Did you? Wow.
Because when you read your text all over again,
Yeah.
you start noticing maybe you have to make changes.
Yeah.
And this is what I've done, like, because I wanted to have a perfect product for us
Yeah.
to that time. Then I gave it to the editor, and she is working with a lot of big companies, publishers, and she said, "Why don't you sell that book? why don't you put it on the market? It's
so the initial plan wasn't to sell it.
No, the
Wow.
initial plan was actually
Just for you.
just for him.
Wow.
And because I wanted her to do the grammatic and everything, and she said she said I've been working with so many books since 30 years. You should definitely do something.
Oh wow, cool.
And this is what made me thinking. And of course, I didn't want to decide it on my own.
Yeah.
I talked to Tom. I told him the whole thing because I need more information, of course, and I couldn't come up with excuses anymore.
Yeah.
And and then he said he was very happy, and then he said it's a good idea. Let's do something. Let's do something.
When is it out?
Plan is right before Christmas.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the plan is also.
So we can buy it before Christmas, hopefully.
Yes.
Excellent.
And we also want to the money we make through the book until the costs are covered. We want to give every single penny to charity.
Wow.
Amazing.
I think that's probably the most thoughtful present I've ever heard of.
That's insane.
And it's
That's
completely
so good.
ruined any present I ever buy my girlfriend because it will never live up to me writing a book. That's absolutely
Maybe.
brilliant.
Is
never
there
know.
pictures in the book? Yeah.
Yes.
It's a kids' book, right?
Yeah.
So is there a yellow and green pigeon involved? Should there be? Can there be? Please.
Yellow and green, there are, but they are more grey.
Okay.
But their
Just think about
outfits,
incorporating
yeah.
Norwich in some
Yeah.
way.
You
That'd
want
be,
to
that'd
see
be
a picture?
brilliant. Yeah. That'd be absolutely brilliant. That would be good.
Is this in public domain? Can we put a picture of this on
Or are
screen
we
now?
just-
Not
No.
yet.
This is
Oh,
a
so
live
this.
reaction.
Wow, this is a real exclusive.
Is this
It's
the front
a raw.
cover?
It's a raw material.
Is this
at
the front cover or?
It's not the front cover. It's just
Right.
one.
It's just
it's
one of the
just
images.
one of
Who drew the
images.
pictures?
No, I have an illustrator.
You have an illustrator
She's
as well?
working for me.
Whilst Anna's finding that, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. What I've really enjoyed throughout this podcast, and Anna, me and Jack, when I set this up with you, I said to Jack, I really want to break the stigma of, there's this massive thing where football fans, they have this impression of footballers' wives, right? And this is the exact reason why people shouldn't have that impression. Writing a book, 3 different languages, career of her own, like, I think that's incredible. It's so good to hear and to see. People always just see, and this is the thing that I'd be interested to ask you about, Anna. Do you ever get annoyed by football fans seeing you as just a footballer's wife?
Yes.
Do you?
It hurts. It hurts in one way because I was not, when we came together, I was not a football wife.
Exactly. yeah.
Because I was maybe a wife of someone who's going back to university. And this is what makes me really, really sad. And it makes Tom even more sad.
Does it?
Yes, because he doesn't. I'm not this typical. What he always tells me, I'm not this typical girl of a football player. And I remember he got once a message, and he actually never replies to any messages insulting him or offending him. And this is the only message he responded, which made him very, very sad. And this is what, that's a big thing for us. I think. You have to also online, you have to watch out on social media what you write, because you can hurt people, and this is what people forget. Doesn't matter if they're famous, not famous, it just hurts. And also people who, especially players who have kids, young kids,
Totally agreed. Yeah.
when they go to school and they are like 6 or 7, and someone comes up to them and tells them your dad is shit,
Yeah.
you know, it hurts. It hurts for a young person because this boy or this girl can't do anything about it. And this is also for an adult. It's it's hard to digest sometimes these words, because I get a lot of messages when for example, they lose.
Yeah.
And
You get a lot of messages.
Yeah, I get a lot
When
of
they
messages.
lose, you get a lot of messages.
yes.
Why?
I don't know.
And what sort of messages roughly are you getting?
Very nasty ones.
Really?
Yes.
And see, this is the point, and this is exactly why I wanted Anna to come on. That I'm a bit fed up of it. Football is a game. It's entertainment. We love it, but there is no need to message players, family members, to to bully people, to troll. And I think if it's constructive, so if I said,
Exactly.
I thought Tom today wasn't as good as always. I thought it was his mistake for the goal, but he'll probably know that anyway. Anna can probably hold her hands up and say, you know what, I'm a bit annoyed because he's my man, but actually it was probably fair, he didn't have his best game. But when it's personal insults, there's just no need for it. And I would encourage anyone that's watching and listening to this now to go and follow Anna on Instagram, because you push out a lot of inspirational messages, which I really enjoy because I'm all about that as well. As you know, Jack hates it.
I love it.
I love it.
I like it.
I think you love it. But I think it's important. I think we need more positivity in the world. So I appreciate that, Anna. Thank you.
So much.
Genuinely, I think we've done 99, over 100 of these podcasts now, and we've had a whole range of people, and I can hand on my heart say this is the most enjoyable one we've done. Really, honestly.
Thank you.
Because I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, thank
Is there
you.
a trophy for that?
No, we'll buy a few extra copies of the book.
I wanted to say also thank you so much for having me, and I couldn't come with empty hands. So I brought you a little present.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
This is for you three.
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
the
Max behind
cameraman.
camera, producer Max.
I just
What
brought
is
you
it?
some typical German products, and I hope you like it.
Okay.
Oh, shall we open it
Can
now?
we open it
Of
on
course.
camera?
Yeah.
Go
Let's
ahead.
do it.
So,
Thank you, Anna. That's incredible.
We have to say
By the way,
advertisement.
I'll tell you what, that's
excellent- I mean, that wrapping.
that's exceptionally wrapped.
Are you, Christmas wrapping? Are you doing all the wrapping, or does Tom get involved in the
I
wrapping?
actually give it up to do it. I just pay someone £5 because I'm really bad at stuff like
You
this.
pay someone to wrap for
Yeah,
you? Who'd you pay? Where do I go?
I just go somewhere. I just take my stuff I buy and I go to Gerald's and ask them.
Oh, Gerald, yeah. So,
Free promotion for
yeah,
Gerald.
what are your favourite shops in Norwich whilst we're opening this?
Shops.
Yeah, what are your favourite ones to go to?
Oh my word.
Oh, wow. What have we got here?
So we've got a mini chocolate
Nice.
mix.
Yes.
That looks exceptional.
Rittersport, that's a typical German chocolate.
What do you
This
want,
is
Max?
marzipan.
Wow. Look
You have
at
to
this.
try
I
this
love
one.
marzipan.
You love marzipan?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
And
this is the marzipan.
This is marzipan, and
Okay.
this is a typical German sweet for Christmas. Like everyone gets it for Christmas. So you have to try that. If you like, do you know speculatius? I don't know the
No.
English
idea
what you're
word.
on about.
I think the word in English is so different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all of them.
You have to try.
They
Let me know
look
what you think.
incredible. Thank you so
Yeah, you're
much.
very
That's very
welcome.
kind.
That's
Wow.
exceptionally kind. Right, we'll put these here.
I'm going to put on some weight.
Yeah, the health freak himself is not going to be. I've never asked this question, but I want to on this. We'll wrap up. How do you want to be remembered?
Oh, that's a very intense question. As a loyal person,
Yeah.
as a good person, as someone you can lean on, trust, as a good friend, as a good wife, I think it's a question I would have to think longer about that, but this is my answer for now.
For now, I like it. We'll have to get you on again to talk
good.
about it more in depth. Anna, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you so
Thank you,
much.
Anna. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of the TNT podcast. If you enjoyed it, please do leave ratings on iTunes and SoundCloud. Let us know what you thought of it down in the comment section below. And also, we'll include Anna's Instagram, so go over and follow her. She might get you some marzipan treats, I don't know. See you soon. Bye-bye.